There are stories about dreamers, and then there are stories about those who refuse to stop dreaming even when everything collapsed. Elon Musk's story begins not with rockets or billions, but with a quiet boy in South Africa who spent most of his time lost in books and ideas no one else could see. He wasn't the smartest in the room, but he was the most curious. He questioned everything: why cars couldn't run on electricity, why rockets couldn't be reused, why people accepted limits as truth. While others laughed at his impossible ideas, he kept reading, kept building, kept believing. As a teenager, he taught himself computer programming and sold his first video game for $500. It wasn't much, but it planted a seed, that his mind could build something valuable. He left home for America with barely enough money for rent and food, sleeping on couches, working late nights, and eating cheap meals just to survive. In college, Elon didn't dream of a safe career, he dreamed of changing humanity. He studied physics and economics not for degrees, but to understand how the world works, and more importantly, how to make it better. Every friend thought he was crazy when he said he wanted to build electric cars, launch rockets, and colonize Mars. His first big step was Zip2, a simple online map directory he built with his brother. Investors doubted him, but Elon worked day and night, coding, sleeping in the office, showering at the YMCA. Eventually, they sold it for over $300 million. Overnight, Elon became a millionaire, but instead of relaxing, he risked it all again. Next came X.com, an online banking idea that most people didn't understand. The company merged and became PayPal, and when it sold to eBay, Elon walked away with $180 million. Most would retire. But Elon? He doubled down on his dreams. He poured nearly everything he had into SpaceX and Tesla. People called him arrogant, reckless, insane. The media mocked his rockets when they exploded, 3 times in a row. Each failure cost millions. Each failure broke investors' confidence. By 2008, he was nearly bankrupt, sleeping on friends' couches again, borrowing money just to survive. The same year, Tesla was collapsing. The economy was crashing. Employees were quitting. Elon had a choice: save one company and let the other die, or risk everything to save both. He chose the impossible. He split his remaining money in half and fought for both dreams. Then, something extraordinary happened. SpaceX's fourth rocket finally launched successfully, reaching orbit. That one success changed everything. NASA called. Contracts were signed. Tesla got last-minute funding to survive. In a single week, Elon Musk went from the edge of bankruptcy to the front page of history. But it wasn't luck. It was perseverance, the quiet, stubborn refusal to give up. The rockets that once exploded now returned to Earth and landed upright. The cars that were mocked became the future of transportation. The man who was ridiculed for dreaming too big became the face of modern innovation. Elon Musk's journey wasn't about money. It was about purpose, the belief that failure is just data, that every setback is feedback, and that greatness demands sacrifice. He once said, "If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it." Those weren't just words, they were his life. He was fired from his own companies, insulted by the press, and laughed at by experts. But he didn't stop. He learned, rebuilt, and came back stronger every time. That's the power of persistence, not avoiding failure, but embracing it as the only path to success. Today, Elon Musk leads Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and more, but behind every success is a trail of sleepless nights, doubt, and pain. His story teaches one truth: you don't lose when you fail, you lose when you quit. Every dreamer faces doubt. Every innovator faces failure. But the ones who change the world are those who keep going, no matter what. Elon Musk's journey reminds us that the bridge between failure and success is built from persistence and faith. So when life hits hard, when your dreams seem impossible, remember this: the man who builds rockets once couldn't afford rent. The billionaire who's changing the world once slept on a couch. The secret wasn't luck, it was never giving up. He failed again and again, but every failure was a step closer to greatness. And if he could rise from nothing, so can you. If this story inspired you, subscribe to Wordy Tales, and remember, your thankfulness and perseverance are the true engines of success.